Hello everyone, this is Lau.
And this is Sohan, and welcome to episode 2.
This episode is a little bit less full on, I would say. That would be my introduction to this.
For sure,
actually.
I mean, we started pretty heavy.
But today it's all about us and our story about how we pretty much got here.
Yeah, because we started a bit about, what our passions were about, and now we just thought we'd give you a little bit what we're about.
I'm going to be interviewing Sohan, and I'm going to ask her a few questions that she actually doesn't know, which should not make her nervous.
Suspense.
So, Sohan, please, tell us your story. How did you end up here in Australia, and where are you originally from?
Okay, so how did I get into Australia? That is a little bit of a long-winded one. Jumped a little bit around when I was little, and then eventually ended up here. So I guess where I started is I was born in East Africa, Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, and it's a really beautiful place. If any of you guys are ever interested in traveling, highly recommend. Lovely place. Just be sure to check out whether it is safe to travel at that time. So that's technically why we left. Not a safe country to live in at the time. I'm not sure if it's changed now. So we were supposed to move straight to Australia, but a few different issues ended up happening, and we ended up living in India for 4.5 years in the south of the subcontinent, in a city called Bangalore, which happens to be the IT capital of the world. So it is quite a bit of a STEM influenced city, but I would not have known that at the age of 6. So definitely had no influence in what I chose to become. But yeah, 4.5 years spent there and ended up in Australia after that.
Nice. When you say that it was a dangerous place, what do you mean by dangerous? Would you like giving us a little bit of background history in why Nairobi was a dangerous place to be?
I mean, just as from the little that I know, I don't know too much. I know that there was unrest with neighboring countries and some general civil unrest at the time. And I think in the late 90s, there was also a bomb blast that happened at one of the town centers or something. Had a few different family members that were held at gunpoint or shot at.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So it's just, different places have different things going on, and that was what Nairobi had at the time. So we just had to move. In the interest of the safety of our family. At least we were lucky to be able to move. I'm sure a lot of people would have wanted to and couldn't. But that's pretty much my story on getting to Australia.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sohan. I want to know a little bit more about what was growing up in India like. And how was for you as a, I guess, child, how did these moves impacted you in your development as a person, personality wise? Because sometimes these type of changes can really influence positively or negatively in our personality as children,
I mean, changing continents, let alone cities, has a big, I suppose, culture shock, when you're a child. So moving from Nairobi to India was, in essence, a bit of a culture shock. Took a bit of getting used to. I think I probably took it a little bit harder because no one actually told me we weren't going back to Nairobi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought we were going for a holiday.
Is that right?
Yeah,
what
literally.
So you found that and you were like,
at Bombay Airport, my sister was like, "You realize we're never going back, right?" And I was like, "What?"
And then they just sunk in. Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I took it a bit too much. I think I got really sick after that, and for the 4 years I was just sick on and off. I think so.
I think sick, were you sad, or was it actually
I think
sickness?
It started from the sadness, but it ended up becoming a tonsillitis issue that just ended up being recurring.
Your body was manifesting your emotions?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. So a bit too seriously taken by a 6-year-old.
Well, I mean, you were 6 years old and you were just told that you were going to change.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought we were just going to go for a holiday, given that they were probably packing up everything. It doesn't make sense. But, I don't remember too much from that time, as I'm sure...
Oblivious to you.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm sure you don't have that many memories from your 6-year-old
I don't
times.
actually. I find that fascinating when people are sharing stories about their childhood, because I feel like I have selective memory.
Yeah.
I've selected a few memories to just like, you know,
Live
be
off of.
present.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
And the rest was just a blur.
exactly. I was born yesterday. It's hard to actually remember what I did last week, bro. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, so other than the culture shocks, I think it was probably also different because gone from like, you know, living in with a lot of family and friends, quite a bit of a social environment in Nairobi, because I had 2 generations of family living there, to living in Bangalore with not that much family. I think we were so there was a bit of having that, setting up a new life. It was fun. It was absolutely amazing. I will say that it was a good city. I would think it's the best in India, but you know, I haven't traveled too much, maybe a bit of bias there. But it's lovely. It's a lot bigger now than what I remember, but people were great, and it was a familiar culture. So I think that definitely had a part to play in how comfortable and easygoing we felt. Funny fact, I was very ignorant and always thought that there was like one language across India, which is so ignorant. Happy to have changed that now. But yeah, when we moved to the south, I thought I would be fine and everyone would speak the same language, but they spoke not a single word of the language we spoke.
I actually didn't know that, so I'm an ignorant too, because I literally just found out about that. Wow, that's so interesting. Oh my god. Yeah. So you actually had to learn a different language.
I mean, not really, no, because it is quite
similar.
No, there's a big focus on like education there, so I think English was common with a lot of people. Probably, I mean, I suppose I could have, but I was little and we weren't really studying at a local school, so it was something called an international school, where like kids from all different parts of the world were studying. So we didn't get to learn the traditional language of the state. So that's a bit of, I suppose, ignorance again on our part. But, you know, as is classic with those schools, they were teaching like one foreign language and English mostly.
Right. Yeah. So would you say that English is your first language, sort of?
I would say so. I think it was the first language I was taught, even in Kenya. And
okay.
Yeah, even in India, that was most of the focus. So.
And how many languages do you speak now?
I suppose we could probably say 4, but 3 of them are very similar. No, 3 of them are really, really similar.
Don't just take it. Take the credit. Take the compliment. That's incredible.
I don't know people who say they're different, but like it's Hindi, Punjabi, and I suppose Urdu, which largely come from the region of Punjab. So that's where my heritage is from. My grandparents were from there. They had just moved to Africa in the 40s or whatever. But yeah, so that's because it's on the border of like India, Pakistan. So there's a bit of a culture from India and from Pakistan. So there's like the Hindi and the Urdu, but then Punjabi is like native to that state. So that's where that comes from. I do not remember much of Kiswahili, which is the language in Nairobi. I can understand a little bit if I listen to it, but it's sort of the language people at home will speak if they don't want me to know what they're talking about.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's so funny.
It's funny, yeah. I mean, I suppose it works. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Wow, amazing story, amazing background. You are actually very like, I love it because you like so diverse. There's like so many places that you're being and so many cultures that you have been exposed to and that you have actually introduced me to. Your background is quite incredible, to be honest. Oh, to me it was so exotic, and I don't mean this in a racist way, by the way, because I hate that comment when people say it to me. I'm like, fuck off. I'm being serious. Sometimes it's so I know it can
make you feel like you're out of this planet.
Like,
yeah,
what do you mean exotic? Yeah.
Do I have feathers on my head?
But I actually thought so when I met you. I was like, amazing, like. So, Sohan and I met at a Christmas party at the old place I used to work at, and we hit it off.
Pretty much straight away, I think.
Yeah, we got along really well, and now we're here doing a podcast for you all. So, amazing. So, Sohan, you went to uni here in Australia. Please tell us about you, I guess. How was your high school in Australia as an international people of color, lol? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was it different? Did you face bullying? I feel like high school is such a place where you get bullied for pretty much anything or everything.
Yeah, I definitely, that could be other people's experience, but thankfully, I think I never really had that experience here. People were really generally quite nice.
How was like diversity in the classroom?
There was a lot of your Caucasian Australian people at school, but then there was also a big population of Vietnamese children who were at school, and so that was probably the two majorities. And then there was a few people from like the islands nearby, like Samoa, Torres Strait Islands, and like Tonga, that sort of population as well, and then very minor Southeast Asian brown sort of so I think that's probably different now at the school, but that was it at the time that I was there. And generally people were quite friendly and quite nice, and I was more the studious type. More to the Indian stereotype, I guess. But yeah, I spent a lot of my time doing that, so perhaps I was a little bit oblivious as well in essence. So spent high school like that, I guess.
Studying. Were you like a party animal? No, I'm joking. Yes, pretty much.
What are people doing in high school?
What do you mean? Oh my god, guys, I'm so glad that we have this recorded. She just said, no, I'm kidding. Bro, what do you mean? I partied when I was in high school.
Bro, I want to hear about this.
Yeah, of course, you can ask me. This is amazing.
I was like home to school, school to home.
Are you joking? Did you do any extracurricular activities apart from... Did you play any sport?
In Bangalore, a lot. I used to play whatever it was. Like, like we played a lot of basketball, we played cricket, we played a tiny bit of football. But in Forest Lake, Australia, that kind of just dropped off. Basketball was something I was really passionate about, and then that wasn't really offered at the schools here. Yeah, so I just played the sport that they would in HPE class, and then nothing else really.
What's HPE for people that don't know the acronym?
Health and Physical Education.
Thank you very much, acronym queen.
Predominant sports class taught in schools here. I only picked up more into sport, running and physical activity more towards the end of school. So that was, didn't have opportunity to try that at school, no.
Wow, interesting, because Australia is like a country that focuses on...
Oh, it focuses. I didn't focus. My focus was in the books.
Nice. No wonder why you're such an intelligent woman.
I wish I had availed that. I think grade 12, I'd gotten to be trained under one of the HPE teachers there. And he was the most incredible teacher I've ever come across. He was teaching, he used to be a professional sprinter, so he was like training a few of the teachers just really after hours at school for their benefit, like free of charge. What a nice guy. But
beautiful. That's what you want.
So I ended up joining because I was like, yeah, why not? And it led to like three years, I think, of some of the most intense and incredible physical training years of my life. Like literally, it is so amazing. Like we were learning 100 meters and 400 meters of sprinting.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have never trained that hard in my life and haven't still. And it was so incredible. So I think definitely there's a bit of regret going back that I wish I had discovered that earlier on, because I would have loved to have competed or like done something with that. It was such a fun thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Part of that, like I always thought that I might get into like physiotherapy instead of engineering, because I'd started studying engineering at the time and I thought that it probably like wasn't for me.
Why did you feel it wasn't for you?
First year engineering was full on.
Right.
Literally, they put you in all these electives. If you don't know what you're doing and you try like a few different ones, it is like a roller coaster. Honestly, you can go from like programming circuit boards to like moving items, and I'm not good with anything moving. I'm more like into like civils, as you know, we studied civil engineering, both of us, and you're studying.
Well, I'm finishing my degree.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that was definitely something I determined I was more comfortable with towards the end of the year. So the whole first year was quite a bit of like an experience in that. Like we could probably talk about that more.
Definitely.
So I thought I was going to leave it, but then I think when second year happened, I ended up meeting the most incredible people and got an amazing culture of friendships and studying and the content. Like I finally decided what I'd be doing, so I did civil engineering, and it just got so interesting. And not to say it wasn't interesting before, but it was more in my line of interesting. So then I ended up staying in the physiotherapy degree, just kind of got shelved.
Nice. So what year did you finish your engineering degree?
2018. Yeah, so it's...
And then you started working straight away, or did you do like work experience before? Or...
A requirement of the degree is that you do have to do some sort of work experience before you can graduate. So I had done my vacation program in Perth. Yeah, and
how was living in Perth?
Oh, it was incredible.
Oh wow, I've never been to Perth.
Oh, we have to go sometime. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is so beautiful. It's very different to the entire east coast of Australia, I think. The beaches are, in my own personal opinion, I think much better.
Massive statement, bro. I love Queensland.
I love Queensland too, but the beaches in Perth, I was shocked. I was so like amazed. It was really, honestly, the work experience was like a breeze. I spent most of it just planning holidays, but it was really lovely.
I'm glad you had that experience of planning holidays. Oh, okay. And then
started working after that. After my engineering degree was done, ended up pretty much working since then.
What do you think was like the biggest difference from studying engineering to actually working in the engineering industry?
I think the university I was studying at, that is a lot more theoretical focused rather than practical focused. So in terms of working, there is a lot more in terms of like software and application that wasn't really covered at university. But if I look back to it, the field I'm in now, if I compare those subjects, the fundamentals were exactly what I would need now. Yeah, so like they laid out a good foundation, and everything else just becomes a matter of learning the latest software or learning how to apply that in essence. When I joined civil engineering, I didn't know that there were going to be so many different choices to make. I thought that was the last decision I would have to make. And then you go in and they tell you there's like at least 5 sub-disciplines, and you have to choose between them. So it's an element of setting up the foundation for each one, because you're not going to know which one you're going to end up working in. So I'd say
until you try it. Yeah,
exactly. So a general amount of what I learned, if I'm not working in those fields, I don't need that information anymore. But it does help in terms of understanding how different parts of the built environment work with each other.
Yeah, 100% in a holistic perspective, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, to see the bigger picture at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Sohan, you're a civil engineer and you have a master's in fire, but you're currently working in the surface water flooding team. So, I want to know, I genuinely want to know, how was that all about? Like, do you love water now? You changed your element, like, entirely.
Yeah, it's quite a shift. It's polar opposites almost in some aspects. So I was studying a master's in fire safety engineering, but at the time when I was finishing it up, some issues happened at the workplace, and they ended up saying that, look, I could move cities and stay in the same field, or I could continue to live in Brisbane and work in any other part of the company. So at the time, it wasn't really conducive for me to be moving. So I chose the option of staying back, and then ended up working in the flooding space, which worked out really well, because it is definitely one of the other subjects I was really passionate about at university. And water being such a big topic and point of influence now, it definitely in terms of like sustainability, a resource that is so scarce now, it's a hot topic almost.
Yeah, but that and sustainability is like
exactly. So
warming.
It's become such an important aspect that I feel like I am really making a difference, and it's a great field to be a part of.
Oh, beautiful. That's
not to say fire is not, but I'm quite loving the water space as well.
That's actually really good. I'm happy that it really worked out for you in the end, because yeah, awesome. Now, as you said just then, you really feel that satisfaction from working in water because you can contribute to people, or like at least to the environment, I guess. Yeah. We could say it that way. So why did you choose engineering? You said that you were interested in physiotherapy. You didn't end up pursuing that, but what made you pick engineering above everything else, I guess?
I wish I had like a more like, self-development or impact for the world story here, but it really isn't.
Well, we're just normal people. We are just the atypical engineers. So there's no need.
Leaving grade 12 is like, what am I going to do with my life situation, right? So I had no idea, and took a lot of advice on board from people around me. And basically, based on the subjects I was doing at the time, everyone sort of just hinted at or suggested, like, oh, you'd be looking at engineering, right? And other than watching Mega Structures on National Geographic Channel, great show,
Okay. Watch it, people.
I
Not
had
sponsored by them, though.
I had no idea what engineering was sort of gonna encompass. Like, literally, probably just thought, oh, bridges, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, funny.
That was it. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I think a shot is all I was thinking of giving it. And it ended up being a pretty good shot.
Okay, Sohan. So we both are young professionals, but I'm really interested to know if throughout time you have faced any challenges or any situations that have shaped you or like your personality or like the person that you are.
Wow. That's a bit of a heavy question. I suppose a bit of a, how would you say, Zen sort of answer to that would be every single action or reaction or event in my life has probably shaped me to be the way that I am. If you could probably break that down, I'm the youngest of 4 siblings, so there is an element of having a lot of people around you that are older that allows you to be a bit more carefree, I think. So that forms a very large part of my personality. And having done, moved from different places, I think that's given me an essence of wanting to be an explorer and a traveler. And that comes from that aspect, I would probably say. Definitely going through university and the very confronting experience it can be in terms of you're exposed to new thought processes and people and cultures and people from all over the world. I think that definitely has made me into the more curious and questioning sort of personality trait that I probably have now. So I'm like not ready to accept everything that I just hear.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that about you, actually.
So in terms of that, so a lot of questioning where things come from, why people think the way that they do.
Curiosity.
Yeah, and into like philosophy and all that. So definitely a big part of the cultural upbringing that I have as a very Orthodox Indian. That definitely brings a lot of spirituality or a spiritual tone to a lot of the thought processes that I might be having.
Mm-hmm.
So interest in philosophy and why the world is the way it is, that sort of thing. So I think these few things, if we can say 3 to 4 things, they're probably the major foundations.
Wow, thank you. If you were to give yourself some advice to your past self, what would it be? And or maybe like some advice that you want to share to other people. It can be related to their career or just like personal life experience sort of.
I think it would be learn to say no to the outside perception of you. So whatever it is that people might advise you or think that you need to do, that comes from their own understanding of whoever they think you are. And I think what I would definitely say to my past self, and definitely going forward as well, is try to learn who you are and what you want to do and follow that to a T, so that like that is your path, that you've gone through and made every decision that you possibly could to become you, not people's version of you.
Massive. That actually I wish I could clap. I'm gonna fucking put that audio of people clapping right now on top of my voice. That was brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much.
Questions. I hope we're done.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sohan, and thank you everyone for listening and tuning in with us. It was definitely something that we really wanted to share with you. That was us, and we'll see you next time, guys. See you later.
Bye.